I'm pretty done with digging. So we have a trench around the whole perimeter of the room. So after excavating for what feels like 3 weeks. So the idea with the trench is it's going to be a French drain that runs under there. A perimeter internal French drain. And you can see around where I've done the underpinning, there's a trench, and in that trench, I'm going to put a French drain. And then if there is any residual water coming through, it is a wet place. Hopefully that will be flushed out in that, and then it won't get onto the slab itself. So the first thing that goes down in the French drain is some gravel down at the bottom. I'm then going to put in a non-woven geotextile fabric. And what that does is it filters the water, so it prevents the pipe that I'm going to put in afterwards from clogging up. The pipe itself is a perforated pipe, so it's got lots of mini holes in. So the idea is that the water can then percolate through all of the surrounding stones and then end up in the pipe, and then the pipe can exit out of the front of the barn. That's the theory. So I'm going to start by getting some gravel down in the trench, and then I'll go from there. So this is the gravel that I'm going to use for the French drain. I believe it's called 2 centimetre washed. It's really important that it is washed, so there isn't any sediment inside it. So I'm going to lay down a layer of this at the bottom of the trench, and then put my membrane on the top of that, and then a little bit more of this, and then encase the French drain, the perforated pipe, in the gravel itself. I can't tell you how happy I am to be putting nice, clean, non-muddy materials back in the barn at last. It is amazing. So this is the textile I'm going to be using in the French drain. It's non-woven, and it only allows water through, it won't allow sediment. It's not the same as landscape fabric. Commonly, landscape fabric is used instead of this because it's cheaper. So this isn't, it's about 50 quid a roll, so it's quite expensive, but it is made for this purpose. It's made for French drains. I'm going to split this down the middle and then just use that sort of width for the trench. So here we go. So I've got my geotextile fabric. I've gone around and just made sure this is level. I already had a slope in it when I dug it out. Hopefully all the water will run to the outside of the barn. So all I'm going to do is lay it down in the trench. I'm going to create a burrito wrap, which I learnt it from an American guy called Chuck from his YouTube channel, Apple Drains. Learned a lot from Chuck. So I'm going to lay this fabric down, try and get it into the, not quite into the center, because I want a lip so then I can fold it back over once the perforated pipe is in there. So I'm leaving quite a long bit on the top, and I've plenty left over, so I'll have to cut that out. So I've laid down the geotextile membrane all around now and pinned it up as best I can. Now it's a case of putting in the pipe. So I've got a perforated pipe. It's an 80mm perforated pipe. I'm going to wrap that around, cover it over with some more of the washed gravel, and then tuck it all up in like in a burrito, and yeah, then we're good to go. So here's my perforated pipe. As I say, it's 80mm thick, and you can see it's got tiny little perforations in it all the way around to allow water to enter and exit the pipe. I'm just putting a thin layer of more gravel just on top, and then I'll lay the pipe on top of that and then more gravel on top. So the French drain itself, the two ends of the pipe are going to converge at this point, and then we're going to go out of the barn. So all I've done here is cut a hole in the fabric like so, and I'm just going to put some tape around it. And then connect it all up. So I've got my French drain pipe now laid around the trench, and all I'm going to do is use this reducer that I've found. So it reduces from a normal soil pipe like this down to an 80. So I'm hoping that's going to do the trick. That's good. So I've installed the perforated pipe now, and it's just a case now of backfilling it with some of the 2 centimetre wash gravel back up to the level of the floor. Then we're just about finished. I'm going to wrap the membrane over the top to seal it all in, and then we're good to go. So I've now got the perforated pipe, and I've covered over the perforated pipe with the 2 centimetre wash shingle. So now I'm going to go round and pull the membrane over the top. Then I've made these little pins out of some old wire I had knocking around, and I'm just going to pull that over and make this burrito wrap. Then I'm ready to put down the MOT or hardcore layer on top of that. With the French drain installed, it's all linked up over there. So I'll quickly go around, cover these over, pin them down, and then we're good to go.
If you've enjoyed this video, please like it and make sure you subscribe to the channel to get notified when the next video goes live. Thanks for watching.